Was crabing. Yeah, back to that this whole opposing forces theme. I had this little thought today, I'm like I'm like, man, why haven't they taken me out, man? Why haven't they just smoked me? You know what I'm saying? It's like then I had a little revelation, man. It's here's the thing. It's like did not even God tell Cain, he said if you do well, you will be approved. So he had the foreknowledge to know, like, listen, if you do right, you will be approved. So even, the bad people have an opportunity to for redemption. I mean, that's what it says to me anyway. But no, I realize it's like this. It's the old kung fu philosophy. It's like if you beat on your training partner, and if you get harsh on them, you're not gonna have any training partners. So when you actually meet someone formidable, the last thing you would want to do is actually slay them. Actually, if anything, you just want to toy with them over and over so you have someone to better build yourself with. You know what I'm saying? Because you have someone to contest with. There's that whole theme, you know what I'm saying, of like man wrestling with the angels. You know what I'm saying? It can be done. I mean, though you're destined to fail in the end unless they just choose to submit. Even them, they have a choice. They can keep fighting if they want. But they'll be like, come on, man, uh I see you're eager, and you got vitality, and I appreciate your effort, but you need to stop now. But that's the whole thing of the villain and the super villain, or the villain, the hero, and their connection. Like in that, even in that movie with Bruce Willis and Samuel Jackson, that was really real. It's like there's I can identify with the enemy in many aspects. That's how you really understand the enemy. You realize you can be the enemy, and the enemy recognizes that part of you because it's it's his nature. He's seeing his nature in you, and you're seeing your nature in your enemy. I mean, that's why the Bible says, forgive your enemy, love your enemy, pray for your enemy, because it's kind of like reconciling people that have lost their connection with each other. And you know, through my sparring, my martial arts, I really, here's the thing. In order to know, I want to fight you, but once you start fighting with me, you realize I just want to fight with you. I don't want to really hurt you. I just want to fight. I want someone who can fight with me and hang. I don't really want to kill you. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to knock you out. I don't want to break your bones. I don't want you to break my bones or knock me out neither. I don't want to look bad. I don't want to get hurt. I don't like pain. But I can handle pain when it happens. Like, hey, last night, me and my brother were messing around, and he touched me here. Like, it was just under, power, but it was above, uh, like, calmness. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, bro recognized it right away, and he was like, he stopped, and we sat down, and we is like no big deal. Got it all out the way. Sat for a few minutes, then start wrestling again. You know what I'm saying? That's the true spirit of what I am promoting. It's getting hit in the face by someone you love, and just going, and no, and then you turn them the other cheek. You know what I'm saying? Because it's no big deal. I know you didn't really mean that, so I'm not gonna. I don't want you to feel bad about it. I mean, yeah, it hurts, but I'll heal up. It's no big deal. It could have been worse. I love you still. You know what I'm saying? But It's the same thing. Same thing. Listen, the reason my knowledge has increased, my seeking, advancing my abilities, has all become because of the enemy. Me watching the enemy, I've learned his tactics. You know what I'm saying? So now I have a defense. I mean, and if I wanted to, I could use his tactics. You know what I'm saying? Against all, I could just pretend to be him, and uh, it works. They're just a super common sense. The true trick is to make it seem like it's something that it's not, when it's just really a simple solution. It's like the quickest distance between point A and point B is a straight line. But if there's something blocking your path, you're gonna have to go on a curve. But you can still hit that dang target. It's kind of like it's strange. It's like this. The best way I've ever heard it explained. There's a movie. It's called A War of Arrows, and there was this lord, and he had this brother. He was basically like a misfit, like a person who just doesn't. He just seems like he's unengaged and he's a slacker. And every time he shot his bow, he would shoot it all this weird half cocked, like unorthodox method, and he'd never hit the target. And the brother was like, "Man, dude, you got all this skill, but you never even hit the target." But in all actuality, what the guy was doing, and the brother failed to recognize it, was like this: he was bending the arrow around the target and hitting something behind it. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, see, the guy tapped into something else. He's like, listen, I'm going to use bowmanship as a way to understand a higher level of thinking and of realness. Because there was a part where, like basically the lord of the land, he gets they get invaded by a rival force, and then this brother, the slacker, the misfit, starts assaulting these people. But all he does is really wreak a bunch of chaos, and he frees the people. He tries to liberate the people that he's close to, basically. And there's all these dudes. They're all beat up. They're all messed up, and they go to their leader, and they goes, "The guy who attacked us, he said something so strange. He said he overcame us, and then he looked at me and he said, 'My bow is not for killing.'" And they were dumbfounded by it. Like, what the heck does that mean? You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing. It's like, listen, though I'm trying to get that 5-finger death punch. Really, I don't. It's not for war. It's not for killing. It's something to seek after, to keep me reaching for the impossible. Because if I didn't have something almost unattainable to pursue, I'd become complacent and I would stop pursuing my goal. So it's the same thing. Really, I'm trying to bend around that target and hit what's behind it that you cannot see, that's obscured by your perspective. You know what I'm saying? So it don't make no sense when you're watching someone doing these things that seem like they don't make no sense, because they are twisty and turny darts. You know what I'm saying? But that's the whole villain, and it's like a dance between the villain and the hero. I mean, you watch G.I. Joe. Cobra is always like, at the end of the look, G.I. Joe never kills Cobra, and Cobra's always like, "Cobra will rise again." And it's just like, he who fights and runs away lives to fight another day. It's like, I can't kill the enemy, because then what would be my purpose after that? Likewise with the enemy, I realize the enemy has the same thing. It's like, wait a second, without these antithesis people, we have no purpose neither. So it's like, they enjoy the sparring, they enjoy the sportsmanship. It is like the Olympics, dude. I mean, even Paul in the Bible explains this as like, it's like the Olympics. You're training in wrestling, you're training to run, you're training in throwing frisbees and tossing things and javelins, fencing. But it's a supernatural Olympics, basically. But, though you can use physical things to explain them. He even talked about it. You can't find salvation in, like, one who beats the air, like a boxer, shadow boxes. Because salvation doesn't come from that. You know what I'm saying? So that can't be your end all be all. Like, I can't say Kung Fu is your. Kung Fu doesn't mean martial arts, dude, or even fighting. It just simply means skilled practice. So, I mean, Jesus was a skilled practitioner of the Word of God. You know what I'm saying? And of prophecy. So, it's not a title that you can just attach to just fighting or sword fencing and things of that nature. It's a broader subject. It pertains to everything. A butcher is a skilled practitioner of butchering. A doctor is a skilled practitioner of medicine. So, and here's the thing, that doctor, he knows Kung Fu. I mean, you put a knife in his hand instead of a surgeon and turn him into an assassin, because he can use that same knowledge he could use to heal you. He could use that knowledge to literally take you apart. It can split you asunder, bone and sinew. For instance, so this is how this thing applies, man. It's not, if you confine things to a box, that's how you're going to see them in a box. So you got to once you get outside the box, now you got to relook at everything you ever thought and give it a new look. And you'll have a new understanding. And therein lies the power, is that, holy crap, it's like I never knew nothing at all. It's like I am a baby right now. You know what I'm saying? That is a humbling experience. But that is where true enlightenment lies, is in realizing how little you actually do know. And even then you go look at the things that you thought you knew, and you knew a whole lot of bull hogwashki. You know what I'm saying? So, this is a reoccurring theme out here. So, like I said, it's like, yeah, the hero and the villain, a lot of times, they're cut from the same cloth. And just like Cain and Abel, for example, how I started this is how, that's pretty much where I'll end it. Is that, it's, it is a struggle. The enemy has to resist you, or he'll become good. And just by being the enemy, that is his death, is by becoming good, is giving up his rebellious cause. And likewise, us, by succumbing to situation. Hey, love you guys. You guys be safe. Hey, it was good talking to you, David. And the good guy, if he risks becoming the bad guy, because if he learns the bad guy's tactics, but then if he engages in them, what differentiates him from the bad, and that would give the bad guy enjoyment, to see the good guy actually abandon his morality and just succumb to circumstance and self-preservation. That's, I think, is their true goal. That's what they like to do. They like to toy with you. I feel like it's a sick joke when you look at them, and it really is. It's just a mind fuck. It's a joke. They use jokes to get you off your foundation where you're safe. You know what I'm saying? They like to get you leaning, hanging out, man, putting yourself out so you're in harm's way. They like to do that. They like to present opportunities, you know what I'm saying, for you to do that. Because then they can point the finger at you, and you're the good guy, and the bad guy looks like the good guy because he's exposing you. You know what I'm saying? When you're supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? It's like, look, you're not supposed to act that way. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's weird, but I guess, we all do facilitate, and it's like a boomerang effect. You know what I'm saying? The harder you push me, the harder I push back on you. But then likewise, my pushing is building up for you and your next, you know what I'm saying, your next pass at me. It is like a intricate dance of opposing forces, but they are connected, yet they are separate. It's a very strange indeed thing to ponder. But you know what I'm saying? If you wish to understand, you must ponder.